Ever feel like your kitchen is a never-ending disaster no matter how many times you try to clean it? That was me until I hit my breaking point and hired a professional organizer. Some of her tips were amazing. Some just didn't quite work out for our family, but I learned so much along the way. And in today's video, I'm gonna share with you what actually worked to help me get control of the chaos and how you can do it too. Hey, what's up? I'm Andrea, and in today's video, I'm gonna be sharing why I hired a professional organizer and what worked for our family. If you're new here on this channel, I talk about helping busy moms save time and money in the kitchen. So if that sounds good to you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below and make sure you tap that bell icon so you get notified when my next video goes live. Okay, let's dive in. So at the time that I hired the professional organizer, my kitchen was just a complete disaster, complete chaos. The counters were cluttered, the drawers were disorganized. I could never find what I needed. I had two little kids. Life just felt like it was completely out of control. I needed help, and it was very humbling. It felt like defeat to reach out to a professional, to admit that I needed that professional help, but it ended up being such a great decision. It was so the right move for our family, and I learned so much about how to think about a space and how to set it up so that it works for you. So today I'm going to be sharing what worked for us and also a little bit about what didn't. So the first thing I learned from my organizer is before you can organize, you actually have to declutter. Otherwise, you're just rearranging clutter. So the first step in the process really is to declutter. Decide what you really need and what you can do without. I've heard it said that you should never have anything in your home unless you know it to be useful or believe it to be beautiful. So that is the first step, is just going through everything and decluttering, deciding what you want to keep and what you want to toss. So that's what I started with, is just decluttering the spaces and deciding what we were going to keep and what needed to be organized. So one of the things she showed me how to do is how to organize bigger spaces into smaller, to put compartments into bigger spaces. Like for example, a drawer, it's this really cavernous space and it's very easy to fill it up with lots of jumbled, cluttered items. If you put bins into the drawer, all of a sudden you have to make a decision, and then the whole thing ends up looking more organized. But what it does is it forces you to have to make a decision as to where you're gonna put an item. So here, for example, we have keys, we have sunglasses, and these are where these items go. So next time my husband and I need to swap cars and he's asking where my keys are, I say, they're in the key place. So a place for everything and everything in its place. Another tip that I learned from her is how to organize the pantry. So we're very blessed. We actually have a very large pantry, but again, if you have a large space, the temptation is to fill it. And if there's no rhyme or reason or organization to the objects or where they're put in that space, then it just looks like a big jumbled, cluttered mess. And that's what my pantry looked like before I hired the organizer. She showed me how to break the shelves down into spaces. So we group like items together. So we have baking bins for our baking items. We have this shelf that we store canned goods on. We have bins for snacks. We have a bin for crisps. You notice the snacks and crisps bin are kind of empty, but anyway, we have a sauces bin, we have a grains bin, we have a pasta bin. All of these like items are grouped together. Another tip I learned from her is to store nothing on your pantry floor. And really, it just opens the space up so much visually. And now when I go in my pantry, it just feels like a relaxing, calming, soothing environment, and I can quickly and easily find what I need. One of the best tips I learned along the way is to keep your countertops as clear as possible. So for example, I have lots of kitchen appliances. I have a crock pot, I have 2 Instant Pots, I have a toaster. I have a lot of kitchen appliances, but I store very few of them on the countertop because I love the clear feeling of having this wide open space. It just gives your eyes a place to rest, and it causes the whole kitchen to just feel calmer. Plus, when you go into the kitchen to cook, you don't have to spend 10 minutes clearing off a space so you have space to work. Not everything she suggested worked perfectly for me. I mean, she did put in these drawer dividers in our kitchen drawers that ended up blowing out the back of our drawers and causing a big jumbled mess. Hiring a professional organizer was a good decision, not because I followed every tip perfectly, but because it gave me a jumping off point and helped me to learn what worked for me and my family. Now my kitchen looks and feels open and airy. I mean, it's probably never gonna be on the cover of House Beautiful, but it works for me and my family. I can find what I need quickly and easily, and I enjoy being in here and cooking. If your kitchen feels overwhelming to you, my advice would be to start small. Start with one drawer, one cabinet, one shelf, and see where it takes you. If you are in the Central Texas area and you're looking to go deeper, I will put a link to the organizer that I use. Her name is Brittany Moore from Be More Organized. She is phenomenal. So if you're looking for that level of support, be sure to check the show description. What are some of your favorite kitchen organization tips? I would love to know. I am not born organized, so I'm always learning. Drop them in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful in any way, there's another one coming up right after this one. I'll be back next week with a brand new video. Until then, I'm Andrea. Bye for now.